Also, unhappy days. Our Poppy Harlow talks exclusively with former members of the hit show Happy Days about why they're getting ready to sue CBS. It's 36 minutes past the hour.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend.
All right, you hear the song, you get happy, right? Brings back a lot of memories. More than 20 years later, it's unfortunately more like unhappy days for some of the stars of one of America's most beloved shows.
Poppy joins us now with more on this exclusive story. Poppy, this is weird. What is this?
You know, this is fascinating. We grew up watching these guys, and even if they're not your generation, you watch the reruns of Happy Days, and they are preparing to sue CBS today, which of course owns the show. What four main actors of Happy Days say, folks, is that they have not been paid for 37 years for the use of their images, and we sat down with them in exclusive interviews in LA to get their story, hear their perspective, and also reached out to CBS to see what it has to say. Take a look.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
This is the Happy Days, known and beloved worldwide.
Ready to race to you.
This is Happy Days today. The show's cast on slot machines. Hotsy, Ralph, Joni, even the Cunninghams.
Somebody came up to me and said, "You must be cleaning up on those casinos." I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Yes, if you get 5 Marions, you hit the jackpot."
The slots represent what the actors say is a merchandising bonanza that began 37 years ago when the show first hit the airwaves. But those same actors also say they haven't been paid for the continued use of their images as their contracts require. And now they're preparing to sue CBS, which owns the show.
Representing to the public the best of what America has to offer. You know, the opportunities, the friendships, the warmth. Unfortunately, Happy Days now also represents the worst of America, of what major companies are trying to get from it.
In exclusive interviews, we spoke with 4 members of the cast: Anson Williams, Don Most, Marion Ross, and Aaron Moran, at a 1950s-style cafe in Los Angeles.
Hiya, Pops.
The estate of Tom Bosley, who died last October, is also part of the lawsuit. And for these actors, who are like family,
You look great.
it was a very emotional reunion.
This is the best part. This is the best part.
The issue, they argue, is simple. They want to be paid for the use of their images.
There's something kind of skewed in that the people who really had nothing to do with making this show, they're exploiting and making money on it by using our face, our pictures, and all that.
After hearing about the Happy Days slots, they began asking questions about where all the money went.
Happy Days has turned into unhappy days.
John Pfeiffer is the actor's attorney in the suit against CBS.
They made a promise to pay, they broke their promise. That's the breach of contract. Number 2, they made a promise to pay, they purposely didn't pay, they broke their promise, the fraud.
Under their contracts, the actors were to be paid 5% from the net proceeds of merchandising if their sole image were used, and 2.5% if they were in a group. The studio has the right to deduct 50% off the top as a handling fee.
We have here iconic actors. I mean, I grew up watching these people, and yet they got stiffed.
You haven't seen a dime from this.
The actors argue the studio knew it owed them money because in 1999, after Moran asked, the studio, which was then Paramount, paid her $692 for merchandising. This document also shows she was previously paid more than $8,000, which she claims she never received.
Bull. No, I didn't. No, I did not.
The merchandising proceeds are especially personal for Moran, who lost her California home to foreclosure last year. In documents provided to the actors, CBS says it only owes them between $8,500 and $9,000 each, and most of that's from the slot machines. but the actors argue they're owed millions. CBS sent us a statement saying, "We agree that funds are owed to the actors and have been working with them for quite some time to resolve the issue." Is it possible that CBS Paramount may have just made a mistake?
I'd like to answer that question.
That's funny.
I would like to answer that question. In business. Yeah. Let's see. Made a mistake for 37 years?
A generation after the show ended, these actors all say this case is bigger than Happy Days and will set a precedent for the industry. People watching may be asking, you know, Happy Days started 37 years ago. Why are they just bringing this suit now?
Well, because when we started the show, we were just actors. You know, we weren't business people.
Yeah.
And we assume, oh, well, they send you the checks and that's it. Didn't think about it.
Are you fighting for more than money?
Principle.
I think fairness and
principle.
Can you think of all the different shows that must be having the same
There you go.
argument about this? Maybe it's for the future that we're doing this.
And now the actors are going to be asking for a specific breakdown of how much each licensee that deals with Happy Days earned from sales, and also, of course, how much CBS took in. Their attorney says he's going to file suit today in Los Angeles County Superior Court. And folks, when you look at these sales, they're continuing. CBS recently announced licensing deals with clothing manufacturers across Europe. There's even plans in the works, we found out, looking at this story, for a lottery game with the Happy Days characters. And you're probably wondering right now about, of course, Henry Winkler, who played the Fonz, and Ron Howard, the Academy Award-winning director, who played Richie Cunningham. Neither of them is part of this case. But these are 4 actors we grew up with, and they're suing CBS in just a few hours.
Are we assuming that they're not part of the case because they make lots of money?
We don't know. We called them. We're waiting to hear back from them. We don't know if they had different contracts, if they were indeed paid by CBS. That's all going to be sort of shed out as this case unfolds.
And you saw Erin's contract.
Yes,
so
I
it
read
wasn't
it.
as if they had an agent and they signed a contract, or in her case at least, that means she didn't get a break of a cut of what her image was. It's very clear that she should be paid for her image.
It says in the contract 5% if your sole image is used, 2.5% if you're used in a group. That's what it says in the contract. CBS said in their statement, we agree money is owed to the actors. I think this comes down to a question of how much money is owed. They tried to sort this out in mediation. That did not work. That's why this is going to court, at least right now. Of course, we'll stay on it, see if CBS has anything to say what unfolds.
Do you know what the offer was in mediation? Was it thousands of dollars?
What we do know is that it was somewhere between $8,500 and $9,000 per actor. And what the actors are saying is no. These slot machines are raking in money. You owe us millions.
Right.
All right, Poppy.
Very interesting stuff. Thanks, Poppy. Sure. We're also going to have more on this exclusive story on CNNMoney.com, including a behind-the-scenes look at the Happy Days shoot.